So, question: was it more noble and more intellectually correct to be a Zionist back in the 1800s, 1900s, when the kind of whole thing started taking off? And I'd argue maybe it was. You look at Theodore Herzl, one of the founding fathers of Zionism. The main goal was ultimately to get a ethno state created, or ideally back in Palestine, um, but a homeland for the Jews, and that's something obviously that back then I'd imagine as well. Being a Jew was obviously something that was very tough. You had mass pogroms. They were kicked out of loads of countries. Um, but maybe it was out of the options that they had the most intellectually correct option. Perhaps if they hadn't maybe come across many Muslims and they had the option of being a Jew or a Christian, um maybe the most intellectually correct one with the kind of knowledge they had at the time would have been to be a Jew. And then of course you had Zionism to follow. And the reason I say that, obviously, is because I look at Zionism today, in the modern world, and I think, what is it like? What purpose does it serve? What's their aims, their goals? They seem to have lost their way. They've gone from having a goal and a purpose to seeming like radicals, if you ask me. Terrorists. Unhinged. Um, just wanting everything their way. Seemingly against the entire world. Like it's like they want that almost purposely. And I think as well today with the modern age, you've got so much information available to you that if you're really wanting to look into religion and ask yourself what's the most intellectually correct option, one could argue, maybe, again, not to get into a religious debate, but one might argue, or I would perhaps argue, it would be Islam, or to be a Muslim. That's my opinion, of course. But I think there's a lot more information about Islam than it was back then, definitely, without a doubt. And obviously the similarities between Judaism and Islam, there's a lot. Even down to the way we pray. So it's not me trying to slate Judaism. I'm trying to compare the similarities. Again, just a question for some of the supporters, really, because of course they had a lot of backers back then. I'm just wondering if that's something, like what the reasons for backing Israel. Is it done because of their faith in their religion, or is it just done for purely, the creation of maintaining an ethno state? So basically, what Hitler wanted to do, you know. So yeah, I think a conversation needs to be had about Zionism. How it's kind of developed over the years. The kind of backers probably over the years as well, how they've probably changed, and the reasons for the people that do. All interesting stuff, Again, it's just how my mind works, always thinking, curious, but yeah,